But as for the allotment, never ever done a live. Anyway, I've now got 250 subscribers, which is crazy. I never in my wildest dreams thought I'd even get to 100 this year, let alone 250. That's awesome. And also, I noticed the other week that I've surpassed 50 videos. So I've actually uploaded something like 53 videos now. I can't remember. So I just thought, well, it's a lovely evening. I'm down the allotment. Why not do a live? On the off chance that even if one person is out there in YouTube land, um, I don't know, I might get a thumbs up or whatever. I don't know. I haven't really got anything to say other than it's been an awesome day. We've got a load of stuff done. Feeling pretty good. Weather's nice. You're probably going to go home and might have a beer and a curry, so that'll be good. And I couldn't think of a better time really than to do a live. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wander around now, around the old lottie. Hopefully I spot people, someone gives me a thumbs up, tells me that they're there. If not, I'll probably give it 5 minutes and I'll hang up, as it were. So here goes nothing. Oh, pigeon. So as you can see, it's a really nice evening. Sun's just starting to go down. Where is it? Over there somewhere. I've started to pot on my tomatoes and chilies now. They are in the greenhouse. I will spin them around and you can have a look. So yeah, I've started to pot those on now. Some of the tomatoes might stay in those pots. The chilies will get potted on again to something a little bit bigger. Beans galore, flowers galore, lots of stuff to get planting in the garden really. More leeks and brassicas growing. And the chickens are good. They were, I wouldn't say they were struggling, but they weren't. One of them in particular wasn't loving the heat today. She just stayed in the shade. And to be honest, I don't blame her because it was really, really hot in the sun. I've caught the sun ever so slightly on my arm. So, say hello to the girlies. Yeah, say hello, girlies. Yeah. So I've got to get some sawdust to them actually. They're due a good scrape and clean out. I clean them out every week, but I like to do them a good thorough clean out, probably, I don't know, once a month, probably once every 3 weeks. And over the winter I was throwing a lot of bark in there. It also smelled really nice because it was pine, well, Leylandii kind of hedge, it smelled like those car air fresheners. So what else have I got to show you? Aha! I went on Free Cycle and I got myself a gazebo. This was last year, and the whole idea with the gazebo was I thought I can turn that into a fruit cage or a brassica cage, keep the pigeons and the birds and the caterpillars don't fly, butterflies from laying their eggs onto the brassicas. So I've had this thing now for about 12 months and I've not really done anything with it. So I thought today, nice day, I'll get it up. Well, I thought this thing was a little rectangle, like a little barbecue type gazebo. No, the thing's huge. It's like a, I don't know, 4-meter hexagonal cuboid thing. I mean, if you can look how tall it is. I mean, I'm not exactly tall anyway, but it's a good 2 foot above my head. So I think what I'm going to have to do is probably custom my allotment to fit this in. It'll be quite good actually when it's done. I've kind of got it in my head already. I'm going to have a hexagonal raised bed, and then this will fit over the raised bed. And then what I'll do is the path that's here will either skirt around it next year, or I will move all of that over to that side. So it's yeah, but it's kind of cool. I like it because it was free, and I mean, it's just like a fruit cage, it's just white. So yeah, you can't argue with free, can you? What else will I show you? Oh, the pond, the pond, the pond. So some of you that saw my last video, you might have seen the pond. You know, it's an old, really old cast iron bath that I sunk into the ground, and it's on an angle for a reason, so it slopes so the frogs can get in and out. Anyway, I was on eBay the other day, and I got 5 massive pond plants for £1. And I didn't think the guy was going to sell them to me when I turned up at his house. I imagine he's just going to go, mate, you're not having them for £1, you know. But no, fair play to him. He let me have them for £1. Helped me load them in the back of the car. I think he just wanted rid, to be honest. But so here we go. Here's the pond. No idea what those pond plants are. So if any of you guys know, I think that yellow one's called like creeping, I don't know, creeping cow's willy or something. I have no idea. Something. But yeah, it's getting out of the pond. I want to say creeping cow slip, but it's probably not creeping cow slip. Creeping something. Sweet William, I don't know. Anyway, what else have I got to show you? Oh yeah, the step over my fence. It's the problem with live that if I go a cropper, that you guys all get to see it. So I had a bit of a nightmare the other week with the chickens. Is they ate my rhubarb, and I thought chickens would understand that rhubarb was poisonous, but apparently they're not. It's not poisonous to chickens, so they devoured the leaves. And I thought to myself, I've really got to start making my allotment more chicken proof. So as you can see, I've started to put the cages around now. There's no net on them yet, but I've finally got my salad crops in. Radishes, lettuce, rocket, spring onions I think as well. And again, another freebie. When I collected that chicken run over there, the guy basically said if I had that for free, I had to take all of his other stuff as well, which included some broody boxes, and which are over there somewhere. You see them on top of the chicken coop. I'm just going to paint those up and probably sell them, or donate them if anyone wants one. And one of the, I don't know, bits that he had was this little, I don't know what you call it really. It's not a broody box, but it's I suppose a broody run. Clips onto the broody box and it lets the chicks have a run around, but in a safe environment. And it fits perfectly on my salad bed. But I can, and everything's growing quite nicely now. So that worked out well. Oh, I just noticed that there's a couple of people watching. See, I don't know if I can see comments on here. Show live chat messages. Ooh, see, this is all new to me. I don't think there's any messages. I got a thumbs up though. That's awesome. Cheers for that. Whoever gave me the thumbs up, thank you very much. Yeah, so that's it really. Things are going well. I was in my garden at home today, and that's looking respectable at last. So I'll have to give you all a tour round the garden at home tomorrow. I might do another live one. Ooh, I don't know. I have to think about that. Right, guys. As I can't seem to get these messages up because this is all new to me, and I'm only on my phone, so I could like cut you off at any second now because I'm pressing random buttons. No. What I can do is turn the camera around. Here we go, ready? Haha, here we go, guys. You'll get a bit of a better view now. So these are my allotments. I don't know if anyone's about today. Well, they were about today, but I don't know if anyone's still about. I don't particularly want to go videoing people that don't want to get videoed, but I can show you a little bit from here. It's quite a nice little site actually. It's tucked away, and I'm going to be quiet for a bit and you can listen to what I've been listening to the last couple of days. Anne Williams, hi. How you doing? Oh, Anna, sorry. That's me getting your name wrong. Ooh, the messages just pop up on their own. That's awesome. That blackbird there, he or she, I'm struggle with blackbirds. She lives in that tree there, and she's the one that whenever I put the humane rat trap down, she goes in to eat the biscuits, and then the following morning I have to let her out. And I've caught her 4 or 5 times now, and I swear it's just becoming a bit of a game. She knows she's going to be set free, and she gets a free biscuit from it. So I now have to put the humane rat trap somewhere else. Just obviously I don't want to one day catch her and I don't know stresses her out or something. But it's almost like they know. Sun's going down. If anyone's hang on. Your spuds got blight, gutted, planted them early Feb, but wow, that's really early that they've got blight. But then again, we've had a lot of water. A lot of water. Yeah, I've never really known blight that early before. To be honest, I think there's another disease that potatoes get, and I can't think what the name of it is now. That looks very similar to blight, but it's not blight. I will dig that one out on Google and get back to you. Loads of brown spots over the leaves. Yeah, it sounds like blight. It's really bizarre. I suppose, again, it's because we've had all this water and this really hot spell, but normally it takes a while. I can only imagine that there's been blight in your area last year and it hasn't been killed off. Saying that, we had a hard winter as well, because blight will always be about. It lives in the soil, it lives in people's compost bins. If your next door neighbour isn't very, I don't know, what's the word? It's not good husbandry, that's animals. Isn't very tidy with their waste, and they leave old potatoes kicking around, then they can harbour blight over winter and stuff. That's a bugger, that is. But there's plenty of time to re-sow. So, I mean, my potatoes only went in this week, and I planted some more today at home. And I will harvest my potatoes. I don't really let them get too big because I kind of like them when they're in that new potato kind of stage. They're a bit more flavourful. Well, I think they are anyway. So plenty of time to get potatoes in. And there is a few blight resistant ones. Off the top of my head, I can't think what they are. I want to say Charlotte or Cara. Well, and it's not blight proof, but if there is a little bit of blight about, they don't tend to get it. I will show you my apple tree. This is the most it's ever flowered. This was dug up from my old house when I moved house and brought with me. Because I really like this apple tree. I had a pear tree as well, but that didn't survive the trip. But tell you what, guys, if we had smell-o-vision, it's awesome standing by this tree. I know, tons of flowers. It's crazy. I just hope we don't get frost in the next week or something and it kills them all. That's what happened last year. But I cut the middle out 2 years ago to get it to bush a bit. And it seems to work quite well. I mean, I'm by no means a tree surgeon. I literally just guessed it. And I was like, that looks about right. Did you prune it last year? Yeah, I did. Yeah. Only a light pruning last year. Just to give it a bit of shape, really. Again, I'm not an expert when it comes to apple trees or fruit trees. I just completely guessed it. I googled it and then thought, hey ho. And as I said, 2 years ago, I decided to cut the middle out because I wanted it to bush out, because it just seemed to be growing up and up and up and up and up. And there is a rule on this plot that we're not supposed to have proper trees. We're allowed dwarf trees, and I think that's on a mid dwarf stock. So I didn't want to get too big. My onions are doing all right, and I have a rogue potato. Always get rogue potatoes. There wasn't even any potatoes there last year. I've also got a rogue parsnip as well. Blackbird's about. She's got a mate. So if anyone's got any questions, fire away, because I'm probably going to kick kick around the allotment for a few more minutes, and then I'm going to go home for curry and beer. I was calling it Aldi, I think. Treat myself to beer and a curry. I've got to buy beer actually, because Brimwood Farm will be live later on, and I normally always watch him and have a beer or a bottle of wine, or if I'm lucky, a bottle of whiskey. No, I'm joking, I don't drink that much. I used to drink a lot when I was younger, but 2 pints now, and I'm anyone's. One hen has stopped laying. To be honest, sometimes they just do. That's just like hens also go through a bit of a molt, similar to like a dog. When a dog changes its fur for summer and winter, and hens do a very similar thing. And at the moment, 2 of my hens aren't laying, but they will. And also, hens don't lay 365 days of the year. I mean, the ginger chickens, I think they're called, the proper name is high lines. They're basically, the ginger chickens, the high lines, they're bred for egg production in farms and factories. And they lay something like 300 days of the year. So that even they will not lay for 65 days. And it's normally during a molt and over winter. The other chickens, which are more of a pure breed, this isn't a pure breed, this is a, what are you, girlie? You're a black rock, aren't you? Yes, you are. She may lay, well, if she was young enough, but she's quite an old girl now, she would lay maybe, I don't know, 250 eggs a year. And then some of the other rarer breeds like silkies, I believe, no, silkies are pretty good layers. What they call, like, is it Plymouth Rocks and things? They can actually lay like 150 days of the year. So that's why these ginger chickens were first bred, because the farmers wanted chickens that would lay more. So don't worry about your chicken not laying. It happens to us all. That's one reason I've got 6 chickens, is because it's a bit of a, it's not what to say it's a pain, but obviously, so when they're all laying, I get a load of eggs, but that's great. I can give them to friends and family. But when they're not laying, like today, I've still got 3 eggs, which for breakfast and stuff at home, it's enough really. So don't worry about that. Do you direct sow in the soil, and if so, what? I direct sow lots of things. So in here, my raised bed, that is, see, I've got this on another video because I don't really do labels. Rocket, lettuce, radishes in there, because pretty much you can throw them at soil and they'll grow. But then I also do the Charles Dowding modular sowing. If you Google him or look him up on YouTube, basically you sow in modular trays. And if you don't know what a modular tray is, it's something like that. And what you can do is you could put 4 beetroot seeds in there. You could put, I don't know, 4 or 5 onion seeds, and you let them grow to a certain size, and then you just plant out the module. And believe it or not, you don't need to thin them out. Nature's got a funny way of looking after it, and what happens is that they kind of grow out to the side a bit, and so you'll still get 4 beetroots and 5 onions. So yeah, sow direct or sow in modules. That's how I normally do it. And obviously carrots and things, you've really got to sow them direct, because the taproot that goes down into the ground, it can't be disturbed. The second it gets disturbed, it kind of goes all twisty, weird and stuff. That's why sometimes people with lumpy soil or lots of stones, they will get a taproot that goes down, hits a stone, twists around, and then they pull up a carrot and it looks like, I don't know, it's got 2 legs and a willy or something. So yeah. So module sowing, or sowing direct. As for flowers, my calendula and marigold, I do both. I sow direct and I also sow in pots, because I like to get some early. So in the winter I'll sow a few seeds. So that means that by this time I've already got some plants that are, good few inches tall. Yeah. See if anyone. Oh, why are the plastic bottles on the canes? Well, if you go to somewhere like Wyvale or Wilkinson's, the garden centres, they will sell these little tiny, my fingers in there, little tiny plastic caps that go onto the top of canes to stop yourself poking yourself in the eye. Because when you're walking around and you're planting, you're like, I haven't done these ones yet. It's so easy to lean forward and you stab yourself in the eye. And believe it or not, a lot of gardeners have actually lost eyes from that. So whenever I put a garden cane in the ground, so the black ones, I did those today, I haven't finished them yet. I always put a bottle on because you can't poke your eye out with that. It's impossible. And obviously you see it as well, so you're not going to trip over it. And then these bottles over here, they're on there because they actually blow in the wind. So when they rattle, and the pigeons hate them, absolutely hate them. And so it basically keeps pigeons away from my plot. I mean, it's not infallible. You know, you do get the odd pigeon, but as soon as there's a breeze and they hear that, freaks them out and they fly away. And as you probably guys know, I like to recycle things. So rather than spending, I don't know, £5 on 5 plastic cane stoppers, well, we drink lots of squash and stuff, so we've always got plastic bottles. And plastic bottles, they last about 1,000 years. So these Lucozade bottles, they should outlive me. And to be fair, I've got some Lucozade bottles that are over there that are about, I don't know, 8 years old, and they've been on a garden cane for like 8 years. Some people don't like them. It actually goes back to what I was saying. On an earlier video. I've got a few people that don't particularly like my plot because they think it should be neat and tidy, and obviously everything on my plot is recycled and it's free. I worked out that bar from the odd packet of seeds, well, a few packets of seeds and a few bags of compost, my plot's cost me something like £75. I actually wrote a blog about it, and of that £75, £40 was that shed there. That shed was free. Chicken coops were free. All the bricks and things you can see were free. All the timber was free. Gazebo was free. All the fencing was free. All the gates were free. Basically, I'm not proud. If I'm driving past somewhere and there's a skip and there's something in there that looks interesting, I'll just go and knock the door and say, hi, you're not throwing that away, are you? You don't mind if I take it? And 9 times out, actually, probably, I've never been turned away. So 100% of the time, people go, yeah. And the reason they go, yeah, is because they've got to pay £100 for that skip. And obviously, the more stuff you take out of it, the more stuff they can get back in it. So it's a win-win. It's a good way of doing things, actually. Even my compost bins that are down there, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 compost bins, and they were all free. And if you bought them from a garden centre, they're about £30 each. So it's worth doing. And also, a lot of things can always be repurposed. For instance, this was my son's goalpost from the garden, which you've all seen before. And obviously it's blatantly a goalpost, but you cover that with netting and that's a brassica cage. And it's no different to a brassica cage you'd buy in the shops, just it's a different shape. It looks like goalposts. All these things here, that was actually an old greenhouse that someone was throwing away. One of those plastic greenhouses that you buy that you put it's like a tent. So I had all the poles off them and basically sat here one day figuring out how many frames I could do. And I've had these years now. I mean, I had a couple more, but they broke over time. But these frames here cost me nothing, and well, they're probably 4 years old now. Purple Sweet Pea. Hi, how you doing? Yeah, so I'm glad you've all joined in. I can't believe I've got 5 people, to be fair. I can't believe I've got 3 likes. Woohoo! Yeah, so 250 subs and over 50 videos now. That's pretty cool. Oh, these are really pretty, by the way. I don't know what, they're some kind of multi-headed tulip. but they're awesome. Yeah, cheers, mate. Shout out would be great. That'd be awesome. Thank you. Ah, look. If you're looking there, they're supposed to be peas, but I reused some compost that was just in one of the raised beds, and obviously there was a radish that self-seeded, so I've now got random radishes just growing everywhere. I just keep pulling them out and eating them. Such a nice day. I got 5 likes now. 5 people watching. Hi guys. Yeah, it's a lovely place to be actually. I like it down here. I mean, I get on with most of the people down here. Well, I get on with all bar a couple. And everyone's really nice. It's like the people, it's like that shed there. A friend of mine down here, he knew that I was after another shed. So one of the other plot holders, they were giving up their plot, and they basically said, take whatever you want, shed, greenhouse. And Jeremy said, well, I know Ross wants a shed. And he actually organised it with other people that were down here. And he gave me a call, he says, come down, I've got you a shed. And guy from that plot there, guy from the plots over there, the lady from that side, they all, because obviously they all know that I struggle with carrying and things, they all came and they all grabbed a corner of that shed and they picked it up and they carried it from all the way over there and they stuck it down here for me. So, I mean, the people on this site are awesome. Right, I'm going to have a pew. Ah, the bunted, yeah, that was an Aldi special. That was. My daughter likes flamingos, and that was. I don't know why we got that one, but yeah, I think it was just because it was on offer. It started to curl though, which is a bit. I think it's just where it's got wet. I don't know if I might have to starch it or something. I don't know. But yeah, man bunting, that's what it is. I've even got some stuff here. It's actually got a little chalk that you can draw on. So yeah, I've been doodling. Right, I've got to ask this. Has everybody with an allotment got a Sports Direct cup? Because I swear that every time I watch a video of someone in the UK with an allotment, they've got a Sports Direct cup. It's like the only cup that you can get a pint of tea into. And obviously it's quite nice to have a pint of tea. You don't have a Sports Direct cup? God, you have to get one. Well, I think what it is, everyone in the UK, well, almost everyone in the UK has got one, is because whenever you order something from Sports Direct, the sneaky little Mike Ashley and his business skills, they add it into your basket without you knowing. And if you don't click the box that says, I don't want the Sports Direct mug, you get sent a Sports Direct mug, and it costs you £1. So we had loads at one point because I used to keep ordering stuff and then forgetting to tick the box to say, I don't want a Sports Direct cup. I should have kept getting them actually. I could have grown things in them. Backyard garden, but yeah, I know. Right, guys, I'm so chuffed that you've. Sorry, I'm scrolling. That's the thing with doing it on my phone, is when I scroll, it looks like I'm poking you in the face or doing obscene gestures. I'm not. I'm just flicking through the comments and things. Right, guys. Thanks for all for joining me down the plot today. Unless you've got any questions, I'm probably going to shoot off in a minute. The thought of beer and curry is strong now. So yeah. And I think I'm the only one down here. I tell you what I could do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly lock up, and then you can walk back with me. That makes sense, doesn't it? So bear with me. Oh, this is it, when I've got to get up out the chair without falling over and embarrassing myself. Right. So somewhere I've put my car keys. They're there. Car keys are there. yeah, if there's any questions about the plot, get them in quick while I lock up. Good night, girlies. Right. Brave going live. Yeah, well, I was saying earlier that kind of snuck up on me. I've got 150 subs and I've done over 50 videos now. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to do it. I don't think I've embarrassed myself. Oh, there goes the perfect timing. Note to self, turn your actual phone settings off when you go live. Right, have I got everything? Got my keys. Have I got my phone? Yeah, of course I have. Right. So yeah, it's a nice little site actually. And I grew up in this part of the world. So, and this site, when I was a kid, was just a football, well, it wasn't a football pitch, it was the side of a football pitch. So we used to play on it, kick footballs about as kids, and now it's an allotment. So it kind of feels like this field has always had some part of my life, really. We used to play on it as kids, and then now allotment here on it. So that's quite nice. Such a nice day. Give you the spin. Everyone gone home? Looks like it. Yeah, sheds are locked. There was a guy up here earlier, and obviously, like I said, I don't want to film people who don't want to be filmed. That wouldn't be fair. And how many hens have I got? I've got six hens. Ex-battery ones, and 2 old girls that I said that I'd rehome because the person was moving into a flat and couldn't have chickens. I'm a big fan of ex-battery hens, to be honest. I know some people don't, they say they've got too many problems, but I've never had a problem with an ex-bat. If they lay, they lay. If they don't, they don't. And I've heard people say things like, oh, you got to be careful with ex-battery hens because they can have problems and they cost lots of vet's bills and this, that and the other. And this may sound awful and it's probably going to offend a few people, but it's just like when you've got a dog and it's poorly. If you get a chicken and it's poorly, then it kind of, you know, you're not going to take it to the vet and have £40 to have it put down. Because at the end of the day, it's probably, you know, kinder to it to, if you've got a sick hen, to get rid of it quickly and efficiently than have the stress of moving it in a car and taking it to the vets when it's not used to being in a car, you know, and stuff. So that's my thoughts on it anyway. That's it. That's where my subs go down from 250 now to like 100. Right. Well, this is the allotment gates anyway. So I need 2 hands now to open the padlocks. Otherwise I'm going to be here all night. So I'm going to say goodbye, and hopefully I will speak to you very soon. So unless you've got any other questions, and I'll just click on the comments bit to see if there's any popped up. No more questions. So I will bid you all good night and speak soon. See you later, guys. Bye.